Hold on tight, spider monkey.
As if you could outrun me!
It's more than some crush, Bella.
How? I don't even know what you're saying. How?
I'm gonna help you enjoy this point.
She's singing along in her head, you can tell.
As if you could outrun me.
All right. Welcome back to a very special episode of my Twilight Fantasy podcast.
Woo!
You got your 3 Twilight hoes.
This is T. Drizzy. Also known as Tyree.
This is Maya.
And this is Anna, the only one choosing not to wear vampire fangs for this entire episode.
Lame.
This is called dedication.
So if you're starting to wonder why Maya and Tyree developed a speech impediment in the past week, that's why. They look great, though.
Thank you.
You're very Bella-esque tonight.
Yes, I'm wearing a flannel. I got the fangs, and I have a fake tattoo of a werewolf on my neck. So it doesn't get much more Bella than that.
Committed.
It's pretty hard.
Thank you.
I think you should get it permanently for real.
Okay, bet. My mom's gonna really love that.
Turtleneck.
It's fine.
Up here.
Yeah, oh my god. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I don't think I can get a tattoo on my neck right now.
We'll see.
Anna's gonna try to talk me into it. Would you have hired me if I had a tattoo on my neck?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Okay. What about my face, though?
No.
My hands?
Yeah. My
I
mom
hear
has
a thing in
tattoos
my
on her
ear.
hands.
I know, but that's like a special tattoo.
Yeah. I know. I don't... The only place I care about tattoos is on the face. Because that is someone who makes bad decisions.
Okay.
You know?
I like face tattoos.
Really?
So, I mean, they can look like trash, but some of them are really cool.
Sometimes, like, I like Post Malone, but for who he is. You know what I mean? I feel like that's his vibe. It's really cool. But I saw someone with a Juggalo face tattoo, and it was just all solid black, just like his,
Oof.
like colored as a clown, just solid black.
Oh.
And it was like,
Bro, just wear face paint.
that's what I'm saying. And I was like,
What about 21 Savage's knife?
It looks like shit,
yeah,
It's a-
unfortunately.
not a fan.
It looks like a cross. If it's a knife, it should look like a knife.
What's that on your forehead? A knife. It's a knife.
Knife!
It's a
No!
knife, like a dagger. That's what he said.
You just take the picture of your neck and send it to your mom and say you just got tatted. See how she reacts.
My mom called me earlier, and I was crying. She didn't make me cry, but we were talking about stuff that made me cry, so that would be a really weird, like, hey, 2 hours ago we were on the phone and I was crying, and
Quick
now I
follow-up.
have a new tattoo on my neck. Do you like it? Quick follow-up. This is how I decided to fix my problem.
It's a quick tap.
Sounds like a good fix to me.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Welcome back to... I guess this could be considered our Halloween episode because we didn't really address it last week, did we?
At the end, I think I said Happy Halloween, but we didn't really talk about it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Happy late Halloween. We hope you all dressed up as your favorite Twilight characters or whatever you wanted to and had some fun. Celebrate spooky season.
Yeah, as long as you weren't a furry, it's fine.
And if you were a furry...
It's not fine.
No, yeah, I mean, you can still listen to us, but...
Keep that in the closet.
Yep. Thank you, Tyree.
If you want to tell us about your Halloween costume or whatever you did, please follow us on Instagram and DM us. What's our...
Send us pics.
Yeah, send
Yeah.
us pictures.
I'd love to see your Halloween costumes at My Twilight Fantasy on Instagram.
Nice.
Wait, we would love to see your Halloween costume as long as it's not your birthday suit. Let's just get that clear. Because some people are out of pocket, so...
Have we gotten any nudes on
There were a lot of S's in that sentence.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Did we get any nudes in the DMs? Is that why you're saying that?
No, I the only thing I'm saying out of pocket was when the one person was trying to sell us weed.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
We don't partake in the devil's lettuce, but here's my address. I need to stop saying words with S's in them. I'm sorry.
Or just
I apologize.
speak into the microphone. You can't cover your mouth.
I apologize.
There you go. Or breathe heavily.
Yikes. We're doing our best here. It's a little bit of
Yeah.
a challenge. So it's something to get used to. I can't close my mouth all the way, and I'm definitely drooling.
There are napkins behind you. And also, just want to say Thank you for understanding, guys. We're sorry this episode is late, but life just kind of punches you in the face sometimes.
Kicks you in the nards.
Yeah. And everything's all good. We're just a little overwhelmed by everything. So.
Yeah.
And shout out to Steph. Again, she's the best. She, like, commented on her Instagram yesterday, like, hope all is well. I want to be friends with you. You're
Yeah.
so nice.
If you want to, like, maybe we can figure out a way to collab if you're not, like, in
Yeah.
this area. We can, like, maybe Skype to
Yeah.
have a collab. Maybe we could do that on the Patreon.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
It'd be cool to have you on. But I just need that kind of energy in my life.
Yeah.
Hope all is well. I'm drowning, but thank you for throwing me a life. I can't even say it. I'm gonna stop.
I know. I posted that really late last night, and I was, like, just tired of work and exhausted. And I posted that, and this morning I was like, that's a little dark. I just put a picture of Bella drowning
It's okay.
on our
Drowning.
Instagram. But it's fine.
That's
it's fine.
totally
We're
how
here.
I feel, though.
And we are ready to talk about Twilight. And we have a very special surprise for you guys. Since we are late on this episode, we are not only covering just chapter 21, but also chapter 22.
The rest of the book.
No.
Very nearly. We are getting really close to the end.
Yeah, we're very, very close. We have, after today's episode of chapter 21 and 22, we have chapter 23, chapter 24, and then the epilogue. And we are done with the first book.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty wild?
That is wild. Wild.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I feel like, I mean, last week we talked about how chapter 21 is not that exciting and it pretty much could be combined with chapter 20, unfortunately, so we don't have a ton to say about that, but chapter 22 I'm really excited to talk about.
I am too. So should we go ahead and get into all of it?
Yeah.
All
I have the
right, so-
overview if you want
Yeah.
to read it.
Maya, go ahead with chapter 21's overview.
Okay, chapter 21 is called Phone Call, and that is literally the only thing that happens in this chapter.
True.
So, from the last episode, from the last chapter, Bella had just fallen asleep, so in this chapter, again, it opens with her waking up in a hotel room. Alice has had another vision, this time of James at Bella's mom's house. Bella tells her what she's looking at. Like, Alice isn't 100% sure, like, what house this is, and Bella just wakes up and is like, yep, that's my mom's house. And then Alice calls Edward immediately, and they decide that the best way to proceed is that Edward is going to fly to Phoenix and meet Bella at the airport, and then they're going to go somewhere off together, because James has found them, basically. Or he will find them soon. And then Jasper uses his power to make Bella sleepy because she starts to, like, protest. And she's like, oh, maybe this isn't what I want to do. Like, is my family even safe? And so they, like, try to... I don't know. That was just really weird. They, like, bulldoze over what she wants and they make her go to sleep or try to. And the phone rings again. And it's... everyone thinks it's Bella's mom. But it's actually James. So... Bella's on the phone, and he tells her to get away from the Cullens, to get away from, like, find a way to escape Alice and Jasper, and get to her house in Phoenix, or else her mom will die. And James has Bella's mom's voice, so it really seems like this is Bella's only option to her. So she doesn't know how she's going to do it yet, but she decides that she's going to. So somehow there's an envelope in the hotel room, and she finds it, and she writes a note to Edward, but she says it's a note to her mom and gives it to Alice, like, to deliver later. And that's really all that happens. She says, and I carefully signed away my heart, and that's all. Like, that's how the chapter ends.
Yeah, like we said, not a lot happens.
I quickly signed away my heart.
And you guys can start out if you want, because I only had one major issue with this whole chapter.
What's that?
How did Alice not hear the other end of that phone call?
Precisely. Yeah. That was really my major frustration with this chapter as well, because they had such an emphasis on the vampire hearing, and then all of a sudden, Bella walks into a different room.
They can't
hear through walls?
But my thing is,
They totally
when she was still in the room talking to James, James tells her to go to another room.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't hear that when she was still right there.
Yeah.
And you know that they would have been listening.
Right. So, to me, that's just like a major oversight.
I agree.
Or is it just like another, like, Bella in Port Angeles situation? Where Stephanie Meyer didn't know how to get Bella to where she really wanted her. So she just skips and leaps and makes a really weird jump into what she's actually trying to get to.
Ultimately, I think that's what it is, but it's also, like, just breaks continuity so hard.
Yeah.
Like, similar to how Jasper can suddenly control Bella's feelings when she's supposed to be, like, closed to that. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm curious what you guys think about that. So please, like, comment or email us on our TwilightFantasyPodcast@gmail.com, or, like, DM us on Instagram with, like, your thoughts on why Bella is able to be manipulated by Jasper's powers when she isn't able, when Edward can't read her mind. And she's supposed to be a shield, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think we were questioning that last week, too.
Yeah.
Because it is just like a... What?
And it's like no one else's power ever works on her, but Jasper's does. All right.
It low-key doesn't make sense that she shows up in Alice's visions, but I'll accept that. But Jasper, no.
Well, that's... I guess this comes more into play in just chapter 22. But I have a question about Alice's visions, because, like, she can see Bella in other people's visions, but why... I don't know. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah, I was questioning similar things.
Okay.
For sure. What else? Something I didn't super love about this chapter was how Edward was, like, really concerned with, like, seeing Edward and, like, Edward's feelings, but really hasn't had one concern for her dad at all, pretty much, since she left. And so it's just, like, I don't know, it feels not fair to me and, like, out of balance, but that's a small thing.
I agree.
And she's really childish, like, she starts freaking out, and that's when it says, Alice looked meaningfully at Jasper. A deep, heavy fog of lethargy washed over me, and my eyes closed without my permission. My head struggled against the fog, realizing what was happening. I forced my eyes open and stood up, stepping away from Jasper's hand. I don't want to go back to sleep, I snapped. I walked into my room and shut the door, slammed it really, so I could be free to go to pieces privately. And that just... She says she spends, like, the next 3.5 hours staring at the wall, curled in a ball, rocking. That's so fucking childish. Like, that's something I would have done when I was, like, 4. You know?
Just go in your room, under the blankets, and cry it out.
Like an adult.
Honestly, that was my favorite part of the whole chapter, when Jasper's just trying to knock her out. Like, fucking chill, dude.
But I think it's weird that, like, he would... I thought I was, like, had control of her emotions, not necessarily, like...
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Again,
like,
that
that's
doesn't
weird.
make sense.
You're tired. That's not really an emotion, though.
Not really, no.
I mean, is that why she used the word lethargy?
Maybe, yeah. Lethargic, because so she can... That's an emotion, I guess. Yeah. That's weird. That's, like, super gray to me.
Yeah, it
but
is.
go off, you know.
That just
Powers
made me
clearly
laugh.
half thought out.
Because how many times in this book have we wanted to be like, Bella, shh, stop.
And Jasper's like, all right.
Let
Calm
me
that
take
down.
it from here.
I also think it's interesting, it says Alice looked meaningfully at Jasper, and it kind of seems like several times throughout this whole, like, this amount of time where Bella has been, like, in their care, like, they've been babysitting her, they can, like, exchange thoughts without saying anything, which is really odd to me, because, like, that's not supposed to be a thing, but go off. Maybe they just know each other that well after spending years together. They can just read each other's, like, body language that well.
But it comes off the way that it has been portrayed, how Edward reads others' minds.
Yep.
That's how it reads. It reads the same way. So I guess I don't really get that.
I've been thinking of it mainly like the Cullen mind link. How you know how like the werewolves and like they have like they all can communicate with each other like that.
That's a good point.
But I don't know. That's probably not it. But it might just be because they have been together for so long. They know how to communicate with each other without saying anything. But I don't know. I've really been thinking about it as the Cullen's mind link. With the blicky.
Are you done with your thought?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, so do we really... What else do you guys have for this chapter?
I had one thing, but it's not anything big. It's just I don't understand why Bella would keep Alice and Jasper in the dark at all, because I feel like Alice is the most rational outside of Carlisle out of all of the Cullens, so I feel like this is something that she would be able to handle. It's something that she would, like I said, know how to handle. And she would think, and then she would go about it differently than anyone else would have. So I feel like if she would have told her, they could have strategized a way to like still have Bella meet up with James and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We'll still have Bella meet up with James and
Yeah.
but there being some sort of plan behind it rather than her just going head first. Because what did she think was going to happen? She's like, yeah, I'm just going to go die really quick. Bye. Rather than like, okay, like I want to protect my mom, but like I still want to live because she has to think about the burden that's going to put on her mother and her father. Like she ups and cusses out her dad before she leaves, and then she ends up dying in like what 4 days. Like I don't know. I feel like she just could have went about it better, and plus it was like 6 against 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a lot to say about that. The logic of like how Bella's just like, well, okay, like just lies down immediately and is like, there's nothing I can do about it.
Damn.
Yeah, you got me.
Well, I think that goes along too with how I understand why they get frustrated with her worry just for like Edward's safety.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have
or the
notes about
family
that.
safety, because it's kind of like it reminds me of the quote. I think it's in the last movie or something when the werewolves and the vampires are fighting together, and Bella expresses like concern for the wolves, and Jacob's like, it's really insulting how like much you little our ability, or like don't think we can handle ourselves. And so Bella decides to like take things into her own hands as to not like let her mother be affected, but also not taking it to Alice or Jasper. Mm-hmm. Doesn't want to put them in danger, but it's like, bitch, they're just as strong as he is.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you going
And
to
they're
do?
Together
two of them.
more so.
Yeah.
Why does she feel like her going in this place is gonna be the best solution?
Right, and like, can you imagine how irritated her, like, because she was like, I'm going to do this for my mom. If her mom was actually there, and then it would have been like, why the F are you here? Why would you come?
Are we still paused?
No.
Okay.
And then also, like, because my mom has told me multiple times, like, if it was a life or death situation, it had to be between me and her. She's like, do not, like, save me or try to, like, be the hero in that situation. She's like, I would be more willing to go because she said it's, like, a really strong pain to outlive your child, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't just be like, oh, well, damn, mom said not to.
Yeah, of course.
But, like, I feel like I would try to help in the best way that I could so it wouldn't happen, but at the same time, it would be like, she has no self-preservation at all.
None, and it's thoughtless, especially since, like, we've established so hard, every person in the family has been like, you mean so much to us because you mean so much to Edward, like, we've never seen him like this, like, please protect yourself, and she's like, nah.
Nah, I'll take it from here, fam.
That's why I start to understand some of Edward's anger. Even he explains it's mostly towards himself, but I was like, I could understand why he would be mad at her. Because she's just willing to be like, fuck it. Fuck it all.
At every moment. Like,
At
really.
every single crossroad.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I guess I die then.
He's like, she's like Princess Peach and he's Mario.
Yeah, low-key.
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't like her.
This
Yeah,
girl
that's really
is
what I keep coming back
problematic,
to.
supersonic.
Yeah, that's mostly what the notes that I made on this chapter are, like, based on why Bella is choosing this. I also made a note on page 429. This whole thing makes me think back to the Port Angeles incident. Can't believe that was in the same book as this.
That is crazy.
Like the phone conversation where she's talking to James, but he's like saying, answer yes or no, or like say this now. Like at one point, he says, now repeat after me. Thank you, Mom. Say it now. And she does it. Mm-hmm. She like could have, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense for her to just go along with this. She definitely 1000% should have hung up the phone and turned to Alice and Jasper and been like, this is dire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you see my mom in these visions?
Yeah.
Because also, I shouldn't touch that.
Yeah, mute the phone call. Yeah, I'm talking to James right now. Like,
Or, like, you know, ask Alice, do you see my mom in any of your visions? Because he says he has my mom, and if I don't do this, then my mom is going to die. Like, the only weapon, the only tool she has is the Cullens, and she's just yeets it away.
like a chicken bone out of a window.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she not only has 2 vampires, she has 2 vampires with amazing
Crazy.
abilities.
Yeah. Jasper could have walked into the ballet studio and used lethargy.
Make him tired, and then Alice already knows how he's gonna, like, every move he's gonna make.
Yeah, if Jasper, like, because, like, if Jasper planned out how he would, like, went into it, like, they could have made it, but, like, if Jasper, because she said, it, like, her visions change depending on, like, how someone's mindset changes. So Jasper was like, okay, I'm going to go in there with lethargy, and then she would have had a vision like, no, it's not going to work. And they could have, like, kept, like, going back and forth and bullcrap like that, if that's how it works.
I'm curious about that, too, because it seems like she's having a vision every time someone makes a decision. But, like, how does that... Can she, like, know the future at will? Or does she have to wait until these visions happen to her?
I think, well, I think the way I don't know. This is just what I think, that she actively knows, like, what's going to happen, but or no, maybe it is the visions just come to her every time a decision is made.
That's, like, so many visions, dude.
It is.
Like, infinitely many.
Yeah.
Do you think when she has visions, is it mainly just about the Cullens and if something's bad about to happen to them, or something around her about to, like, her vision? So yeah, if something bad's about to happen to, like, someone around her, like, with her, if she gets the visions that way, because usually, like, they are really not very active with other vampires and drama and stuff like that, so she may not have that many visions. So are the visions exclusive to her and the people around her? Okay.
I think it's like how Edward, he can hear his family members farther away, like their minds and thoughts over people closer to him, because he chooses to, like, hone in on that. So it might be like that for her, where it's like she's more concerned about her future and her family's future, and maybe it's like she grows closer to somebody, she can look into theirs. But that's what I would think.
Okay.
I wish that the book made that explicit and, like, gave us that lore.
Yeah.
That's really... Other than my concern about how and why there was an envelope in the hotel room.
You mentioned that last episode, too.
Yeah,
you were really bothered by it.
I don't like that. It's just so random. And also, on the very last page of this chapter, 432, I wonder if it's like this in your copy of the book, because it's, like, digital. The font changes, and we get to see what Bella's handwriting is like. And I love the variety of fonts. I've said that before. Well, actually, that was in the drunk episode. That never made it to air.
Yeah, it was good, though.
Yeah.
But we said too much stuff, so couldn't really be released.
She looks like she's fucking writing with a quill.
Yeah, like Edward's handwriting. I want to... there's a part where you get to see his handwriting as well, and I would really like to go back to that right now.
I get this.
Ah, damn. This is what it looks like for me.
Wow.
Rude.
Yeah.
Do we have the same font?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I get Times New Roman.
I love Times New Roman.
I
What's your favorite font? Comment below.
I think mine's Calibri.
I don't know what mine is. I think it starts with a P, though.
The what?
I think it starts with a P.
Papyrus?
I don't know. That might be it.
You would not know.
Papyrus?
I'm not allowing that.
I'll look it up. How do you spell papyrus?
I feel like she would like it.
Yeah.
It's the Avatar font.
So
But I'm
cringy,
right.
dude.
I told you! It's Papyrus.
No.
I don't know how you spell that, hoe.
Papyrus.
Papyrus.
F. No, Kith.
Papyrus
Font.
font. Uncle Google, did you mean?
Is that the font you like?
No.
Oh, damn. Is it Wingdings?
Oh my god.
Wing.
Did
That's
you know
the most chaotic thing I've ever
it is?
seen.
Do you know why Wingdings exists?
Why?
Because before, like, emojis we're part of the, I
Oh,
forget what
no.
it's called, like, the universal, like, code for, like, text. Mm-hmm. All we had was wingdings.
Oh my gosh.
People, I
Wow.
mean, the intention, I don't think anyone really used it for this, but the intention was that you would be able to use wingdings to, like, represent those symbols and pictures.
The original emoji.
Wow, fonts.
So are we ready to move on to chapter 22?
I
We've
think
been
I might
ready.
take out my fangs.
Okay, I'll pause real quick. All right. We are back and we are toothless.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It was just starting to taste weird.
Ugh. Yeah, that funky glue you had to put in your mouth.
Yeah, I didn't want to be fangless by myself. Well, fang in by myself.
So now you can understand us better, but we're also eating Cheetos.
You win some and you lose some.
Oh. Okay. I will not do that to you guys.
We love you more. That's why we're doing it. This builds character.
Yeah. We thought maybe it was time to switch over to talking about chapter 22.
Yeah. So, Maya, you again have the overview. Why don't you jump into it?
Okay. Let me finish chewing really quick.
Just bust this down real quick.
No.
Yep.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Okay. So chapter 22 is called Hide and Seek. Jasper, Alice, and Bella are still in the hotel, but they're like in the process of checking out, I think. Bella has decided to go through with ditching them and going to her house to play into James's game without telling them. That's just what she decides. She's afraid that Alice will know, and she like is afraid of spending too much time with Alice and afraid of avoiding her too much because she's afraid that she's gonna like be able to tell. And she's gonna betray them basically. And then sorry. Alice does have a vision, but she won't tell Bella what she saw. She tells her something, but it seems like she's lying. So, anyway, they just seem to keep a closer watch on Bella. But it's time to go to the airport to meet Edward. Wow, of course I'm like dying while I'm trying to read this. So sorry. They have to go to the airport. Jasper and Alice are extra suspicious of Bella. She ends up escaping their care moments before she would have gotten to see Edward by going to a bathroom that has 2 exits. So Jasper is waiting outside one exit while she sprints out the other exit, presumably. And I wonder if like this kind of bathroom, I wonder if this bathroom is based on a real bathroom in the Arizona airport, whatever it's called. And, like, if that's the whole reason that Bella is from Phoenix. Because of this bathroom. Like, to be based on real life. I don't know. Because
That would be real weak.
It would be. But anyway. So she escapes. Somehow she ends up getting away. And gets back to her house without Alice or Jasper capturing her.
Spooky season. Ooh.
She calls the number James left, just like he said to. He tells her to go to the dance studio, which she already knew from Alice's vision. I don't know why she doesn't leave any clues for the Cullens, but she doesn't.
Breadcrumbs. Come on.
Yeah, a little bit. Come on, dude. She gets there, and James reveals that he doesn't have her mom right away. He just used audio from a home movie that he found in researching Bella and, like, going through her house and all the places where she's been. Bella, like, has this weird bravery, but it pretty much evaporates when he starts recording their conversation, like with a camcorder, like a camera, like handheld video camera, trying to get her to tell Edward to avenge her death. So the whole idea is that James is going to, like, record Bella's suffering, and it's going to get the Cullens to come after him because getting Bella was just too easy for him, which is kind of a slap in the face. But
it was.
Yeah. He explains exactly how and why he's gotten here, which feels so much like a Dr. Doofenshmirtz monologue from Phineas and Ferb. Mm-hmm. Very much like a villain monologue.
Oh. Yeah.
Exactly. And then he attacks Bella and she passes out. Like, she starts bleeding and she just has this weird, like, moment, and then
Edward,
the chapter
I love
ends.
you.
Yeah. That's
Don't
like
get
her
me
dying
started.
thought.
I know.
Do not get me started.
Yep, that's all.
Cool. All right. Well, who would like to get started?
I can.
Okay.
Okay, so this is when they're at the airport, and then Bella is like about to make her escape, basically, because she sees that Edward's flight got moved up and he's going to be there in 10 minutes. And in this, I started off by saying, can it just be said that Edward and Bella are soulmates? Because it makes her look crazy when she's this pressed after going on one date and like meeting his family to like be this obsessed with him. Because she says, every cell in my body seemed to know he was coming, too long for his coming. And I was sort of like, I don't know. I understand because I think it's supposed to be like an unspoken thing that they're soulmates, but it's just I think I needed to be said because me playing this guessing game with why she's being so psychotic is not working for me.
Yeah.
I've said before that I'm really interested in the werewolf like system of imprinting, and I wish that vampires had something related because it seems like they do, but it's not
Clear.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wish that was a thing, and it would be even cooler if like Bella wasn't Edward's like soulmate.
Nothing like she died or something, or like he was with her initially and then she died, and
Ooh, and Bella's the rebound.
Yeah,
he's psychotic just like her.
Smooth 100 years later, a rebound. I feel like that'd be Edward's style.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Can I jump into something really quick before I lose my train of thought
Yeah.
with this? Because I want to relate it back to chapter 21. So, my biggest issue with this chapter is how could Jasper and Alice not track her scent once she has escaped Jasper into the bathroom and she just escapes throughout the other exit? Because here's my thinking. In the last chapter, James is telling Bella over the phone that don't tell, Alice and Jasper that you're coming to meet me because I'll be able to sense if they're nearby. If he can sense other vampires, like, why couldn't they sense Bella, who's a human, who is their natural prey? Like, aren't all of their, like, animalistic senses meant to be able to, like, tell what's around them?
Mm-hmm. What
And,
humans
like,
are doing around them.
yeah, and especially if they're already tuned in to Bella's everything.
I literally
Wouldn't they
made
be
a note
more
about that.
sensitive to everything she does? That's my biggest problem.
It's so easy for her to get away.
It is. Well, okay. At least in the book, there is something to it. Like, there's an actual plan of hers. Because in the movie, was it today we were reminding you what happened in the movie? In the movie, it's so weak. He calls her, and all she does is she just walks out of the hotel and gets in a cab. And, like, just when, like, Alice and Jasper were turned around, just leaves.
Yeah, it was.
It's just,
I
like,
hate that.
the biggest... And, like, whatever. There's not a lot of context given in the movie as to what they can sense, what they can't, or whatever. But once you read the book, you're like, that's weak as fuck.
Right.
That's crazy.
Does the phone call with James happen the same way in the movie?
Kind of. He doesn't make her take the extra step and, like, go to her house and call him and then go to the dance studio. He's just like, she hears her voice, her mom's voice, and then he's like, meet me at the dance studio.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn these
And
sideways.
of course
so you
she
have
does
better
her thing that's
access
just
to
like,
Right.
yeah.
That's hot.
So, but yeah, that's my biggest issue.
How the fuck would
is-
she know what dance studio? Presumably she wouldn't really remember that clearly.
Well, she said it was right around the corner from her house.
But then she runs. I'm sorry.
But that,
Oh no!
that was
Now
funny.
I'm talking with my mouth full. This is
It's
getting
okay.
really bad. Excuse me. But then it says when she's like going to the dance studio, she's running blocks.
I was
This
so
adds
sweaty.
up.
I was weak. I'm like, girl.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny as well. But it's also like, what did you think was going to happen? You know?
Also, she trips and falls. While running to the dance studio.
I missed
my
that.
hand.
Like, what a weird way to kick yourself when you're already down.
Yeah.
I'm running to my death. Falls. Oh.
There's this other moment, I don't remember what page it's on, but she like has hoped that James would kill her quickly, why would she think that? He's a tracker. He clearly is enjoying the chase. Why would he kill her quickly? And then there's a moment where she's like, and that moment I realized that I was not going to get the quick death that I hoped for. Like, honey.
Girl.
He's gonna go through this whole process just to be like, peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should have knew that when he like told her like his plan unprovoked. Mm-hmm. Like she didn't even ask him. He was just like, "Well, I did this, and that. I knew I had to do this." And like, no one asked you.
That's the whole villain monologue thing.
Yeah, without even literally not a soul asked. There were another things I noticed. She keeps comparing the Cullens to different types of rocks, and that's so funny to me. I just wish I was in Edward's marble arms. I was like, ew.
Alice's granite neck.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm sorry. That's always really funny to me. And then there was a street named Cactus.
They finally get together.
Yeah, I thought
She
that
calls
was
it
funny.
his obsidian dick.
What?
Get out. This is your apartment, but get out.
Wait, let's rewind. Let's take a second.
I'm just thinking about all the different rocks that she can compare everything to.
No. No.
Yikes.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna have a judge on for the fanfic episode. A judge. Like, tell who has the best fanfic.
Ooh, yeah.
Stephanie, where you at?
Or, I was thinking, if we're gonna have fan fiction about obsidian penises, I feel like that's right up Paul's alley.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna win if Paul is here, for sure.
Yeah, hers is gonna be about kinks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess, should we just announce what we're gonna do now? Mm-hmm. Okay, so, just as like a pre-announcement, so since we're getting so close to the end of the book, we were thinking about, are we gonna jump right into New Moon, or are we gonna take some time in between? And I think we're gonna take some time in between. 3 episodes to be exact. So, one episode, we are going to find some of our favorite fanfics for the first book and read them aloud and shout out those people. We're each going to find one of our favorites. Another episode, we're going to find our least favorites.
Or like funny ones.
Yeah, just really goofy ones that we find and share those and our thoughts on that. But then the third episode, we're each going to write our own fanfic.
It's gonna be a short story. Because I know there's 40 chapter fanfics out there, so it's gonna be...
Yeah, they're all going to be short story, but I think I already got mine down.
I'm excited.
Mine's going to be like a very 50 Shades of Grey version.
Something we didn't touch on yet in this chapter is that we get Alice's backstory on pages 447 and 448. Mm-hmm. I want my thing to be about her.
Your fanfic?
Yeah.
Ooh,
like her
you
backstory.
should. That'd be so cool.
I would really like to read this, actually.
Go for it.
So, James is monologuing about his evil plan or whatever. And he says, what does he say? You see, the vampire who was so stupidly fond of this little victim made the choice that your Edward was too weak to make. He's talking about the only other person who's ever gotten away from him. When the old one knew I was after his little friend, he stole her from the asylum where he worked. I never will understand the obsession some vampires seem to form with you humans. And as soon as he freed her, he made her safe. What? He didn't even seem to notice the pain. She didn't even seem to notice the pain, the poor little creature. She had been stuck in the black hole of a cell for so long. 100 years earlier, and she would have been burned at the stake for her visions. In the 1920s, it was the asylum and the shock treatments. And she opened her eyes, strong with her fresh youth, and it was like she'd never seen the sun before. The old vampire made her a strong new vampire. And there was no reason for me to touch her then, he sighed. I destroyed the old one in vengeance. Alice, I breathed, astonished. How would she have put that together?
I couldn't even put it together because the fucking story didn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And
He kept
speaks
saying
so
the old
weird.
one and the little one. And
No, I literally had to keep rereading it, and
I
then
did
I'm
too.
I was thinking like, why is he talking about this? And then she said Alice, and then I went back and reread it, and I was
Right.
just like, now this makes sense.
If you guys hadn't told me today that this was her backstory, I probably wouldn't have picked up on it. And I just would have been confused and then been like, what was he talking about?
Yeah, that's so disrespectful.
You know?
I just really wish they would have went deeper into her. Like,
Well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. You write her backstory.
Just based on this tiny little
Yeah, that's sick.
snack of information.
I like it.
I just think it's crazy. Like, and then like Alice doesn't remember him, and like she would be the only other person to explain what happened. And like, I feel like her knowing that James knows her backstory because like he said, he does a lot of digging when he's hunting somebody. So she probably could have found out like everything that happened in her past life. But
But they just kill him
Yeah.
instead.
I said they literally just eat him. Yeah, right here. He's the only one living who knows her backstory, and they're gonna eat him.
They're gonna yeet him.
I wonder if Bella even passes on this information.
Next sentence. I wonder if Bella tells Alice.
That'd be real. She probably doesn't.
No,
She
Probably
forgets
doesn't.
about it because she's just like Edward.
Yeah.
naturally.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, but I do think that is, like, that is the biggest reveal of the book for me.
No, that's crazy. Can I mention one tiny thing before another whatever? Mm-hmm. On page 443, when she enters the dance studio, does it bother anybody else that the owners of the dance studio left the AC running over spring break?
Oh my god. I didn't even notice that. But now that you say that, I'm really stressed out.
It stressed me out a lot. That's what I'm saying. You're not there.
Let it be hot.
Air conditioner thrumming.
Yeah, so it's definitely on.
Thrumming.
One of those thesaurus drop downs, like, oh, humming. How about thrumming? But so also on 443, at the very top, she is, I think this is where she's running after she falls. My throat's getting all dry. Sorry.
I can go get some cups of water.
She says, more fiercely than I would have dreamed I was capable of, I wished for the green, protective force of Forks, of home. Mm-hmm. It's the first time she refers to Forks as home.
Yeah.
And that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
But when we pair that up with what she says on the next page, she says, after she finds out that James tricks her, he says, you don't sound angry that I tricked you. And she goes, I'm not. My sudden high made me brave. What did it matter now? It would soon be over. Charlie and Mom would never be harmed, would never have to fear. She still can't call Charlie her dad. Mm-hmm. Finally
really.
calls Forks home. To me, that just says Edward makes Forks home, not her dad.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
Because there's still the detachment there where she still calls him Charlie. Mm-hmm. That's
Even
so
in her, like,
shitty.
presumably her dying moments, she's like,
Charlie.
bye, Charlie.
But yeah,
I love you, Edward.
I hate that. And two, I don't like, again, her logic to me is so flawed because here she's saying that she's glad that her mom's not there, obviously. But she's saying because her parents aren't there and they're not in direct danger, like, oh, they'll
gonna
never have to
suffer.
worry about anything. Bitch, you're about to go missing.
Or fucking die.
For good. And they're not going to know whatever. Like, that's almost worse than them dying in their eyes, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So her just, like, brushing that under the rug and so ready to just be like, take me. Fuck
Finally.
it. Finally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It bothers me.
I always pull out little petty stuff, and I like
Just call him dad.
like oh.
He's so nice to you.
I don't know if you overheard me talking about this, but my brother called my mom by her name, which I thought was like I'm not allowed to do what I said it one time and got whooped, but like he calls her by he'll literally be like Gina and like go up to her and talk to her like that, but then like
Damn.
when he's But, like, that's because my mom's mom raised him, and so my mom called her mom, so he called her mom and then called my mom Gina because she had him when she was, like, 16. And then, but, like, when he'll be talking to me, he'll like, did you see if, he's like, did mom leave something to eat at the house or something like that? He'll call her mom to, like, other people, but, like, to her, he called her Gina.
Oof.
And see, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think it's, like, really disrespectful.
I think
doing
both
it
are
that way.
super disrespectful.
Well, yeah. I mean, I call my parents by their first name when I'm kidding. Or if I call their name a bunch of times, I'll be like, David! Come on.
Me gets met with an immediate backhand.
But
I was yell mom really loud and she tells me to shut up. I'm like, so you can hear me.
Oof.
With my dad, I'll be like, father, Faja, dad, daddy, Timothy.
you're like that Stewie video.
Yeah, mom.
Mom. Mom.
What?
Actually, I think I've heard that at work. Mm-hmm. But, well, I have another little note.
Mm-hmm.
On 445, we get another clothing description that's so underwhelming. James is wearing a pale blue long sleeve shirt and faded jeans.
Ew.
Like, why?
That
This
is
is so 90s.
It's so 90s, and I feel like what she was trying to go for here is he's so scary because of how not intimidating he looks, if that makes sense. I feel like that's what's trying to be conveyed. But when you compare it to the movie, like, not that the movie's scary in this part, but, like, a dude who's just wearing jeans and a jacket with no shirt and a fucking ponytail
That's
creeps
way
me out a
scarier.
lot worse than a dude just in a long sleeve tee and jeans.
Walks into a speedway. I would crap my pants.
I would walk right out. If a dude's wearing a leather jacket with no shirt,
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Oh my god.
Like, that's code active shooter. You gotta get out of there.
Not even an active shooter, but he's just gonna do some crazy shit, you know?
He could be in a flash mob.
That's a crazy decision to not wear a shirt.
But wear a jacket.
But wear a jacket, yeah.
absolutely.
That's crazy. So,
I left the house, like, just wearing a jacket, but it was zipped all the way up. Because, like, I was trying to let my titties fly, but, like...
This makes me think. I don't remember my childhood very clearly. This is relevant, I promise.
okay.
Marginally, but yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember my childhood very clearly, but
Same.
one very distinct memory I have is being, like, small enough to be sitting on my, either sitting or standing on my, like, kitchen, like, dining room table as a kid. And I was wearing, like, an orange tracksuit sort of situation, and my dad was zipping it up. I did not have a shirt on underneath, but the upper part zipped, and he zipped my, like, skin all up in it. And I remember what that felt like.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Oof.
No, when I was in one of my friend's weddings, God, she had the worst bridesmaid dresses. But,
Ooh.
They're always bad.
yeah, I,
Sorry, I brushed it down.
was at the fitting, and the lady zipped my back up in the dress, and it was big, like she
Way
was
too
taking
big,
it
yeah.
in. So I'm like, why are you zipping my skin into this?
It doesn't feel nice.
No.
I think I
Quite
just
the
started,
opposite.
like, screaming, and he, like, didn't know what he did at first, but I was like,
Really rocking?
Plus I told, so TMI, I apologized to Tyree when she came in. I'm not wearing a bra right now.
it's okay, I'm never
Because-
wearing a bra.
Yeah, because when I got home from work and took mine off, I just had a giant cut across my chest. I have no idea where it came from, and I was bleeding. And I was like, what the fuck?
Demon?
Yeah. So, fun times being a girl.
Yeah.
If you're a girl and you experience similar problems, similar. Excuse me, I'm gonna go eat myself really quick. But hit us up on my Twilight Fantasy podcast on Twitter. Not Twitter, but Instagram. Let me just stop talking. But can I talk about since we're talking about James's appearance? Do you realize, like, she's, like, low key dragging him? She's like, he's average looking, nothing stands out.
Yeah, with how much, like, she builds Edward up, she's, like, I feel like she's comparing her to him and being like, this dude ain't shit.
You're not handsome.
But why? Like, he should be. It would be way more interesting if, dynamic if she was like, and despite how horrified I was, his Adonis-like beauty,
He could get it.
yeah, made me attracted to him.
If he wasn't going to kill me, he could clap these cheeks.
He could clap these cheeks right now.
She just offers that instead of
Yeah.
killing me, let's get back at Edward another way.
Clap these. No, no.
She didn't even think of that. She could have totally done that.
Hey, clap my cheeks instead of death.
You just had that, like, your face said, I have an idea for a fanfic.
That's what I thought she was going to do. I was thinking, like, no.
That's totally it.
No, that's a spinoff. So James doesn't die, but Bella gets her cheeks slapped before Edward.
And she gets pregnant from it.
Oh my god, I'm just writing it in my head now. It's gonna be great, guys.
Okay,
it's gonna
question.
be great. Yeah.
Creeps like James exist all over the planet, presumably.
Uh-huh.
They are more of James type people than Cullen type people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And-
fingers so bad.
What?
I'm not gonna eat anymore. I'm still licking off my fingers.
You have hella Cheeto dust buildup.
Yeah, that Keith though.
That's nasty. Alright, go ahead.
Laughing at my own joke. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Let me get back.
To pull herself together and laughing at her own joke.
What was I saying?
Creeps like James.
Yeah, okay. Creeps like James exist all over the planet, and there are presumably more of them than there are people like the Cullens. So there are like lots of bad dudes running around, bad male vampires doing creepy things to small human females, like young human females like Bella. So how is it that Renesmee is the first like vampire human baby that exists? Because I feel like people like James they have power issues, obviously, so like why would he not rape her first?
Well, they might die. That's usually how it.
But like how has it never come up before? You know what I mean?
Well, there's the one little boy.
What?
He was turned after he was born.
Was he?
Yeah. That's like what's illegal. You can't turn children because they can't ever learn then. Like what's right and wrong.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about at the end of Breaking Down Part 2, when they bring in that guy that Alice brings in as proof.
Oh yeah. The guy from the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's like Renesmee.
I stopped aging at 18.
How did they hide him for so long?
I don't know. I think that's what, like he just lived in some random jungle on the Amazon.
Yeah, and the Volturi have been like riding the Cullens' dick because Carlisle left the Volturi at a young age. Yeah, he was a part of the Volturi initially.
Yeah.
And he left the Volturi, and then the Volturi also knew about Edward and Alice's power, so they've been watching them. So like they've been like riding them, which is why they're always like they're looking at them and not really looking at all the other vampires. I don't think.
I didn't know that. I think it's interesting the conversation that they have throughout this section. It's not like Bella walks in and is attacked immediately.
That
There's
is
like
great.
lots of fucking talking. It would be
Just
better.
ends it right away. Oh, we don't need any more Bella's inner monologue? Yeet!
Finishes what Jasper started. What would you do if there was a Bella standing in front of you right now? Dude.
Sorry, leave it to me and Tyree to ruin actual.
I don't even
points.
remember what I was going to say anymore.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I think
Their conversation.
it's just so far from realistic, I feel like. Because it's so, like, way too casual. In the beginning, he's just like, he says, "Hello, Bella." That was very quick, I'm impressed. She's perfectly fine, don't worry, Bella. I have no quarrels with her. Unless you didn't come alone, of course. Light, amused. I'm alone. Very good. Now do you know... Okay, so that was on the phone, but still. Let's see, sorry. That's so weird. Okay, I can't find the section, but just throughout their conversation is just way too casual and, like, unrealistic. He says, before we begin, I would just like to rub it in just a little bit that the answer that was there all along. I was so afraid Edward would see that and ruin my fun. It happened once, ages ago. So, yeah, that was, like, the whole part where he was talking about... Like, why would he monologue about Alice? I don't know. I just feel like that's
Because she's
just
the one that got
random.
away.
I know, but it's just, like, shut up and, like, do the thing that you came here to do. Just do it. Just shut up.
Yeah, like, literally, he starts in a monologue
Kill
without her
her.
asking. Yeet this girl.
She doesn't ask anything or, like, prompt him or, like... She isn't even, like, intellectually interesting. Why are you just...
Yeah, no, you should have explained this to the camera
Yeah.
before she came, because she doesn't care.
Right. No, she doesn't care. That's the thing. That's the whole thing.
She's like, damn, that's crazy.
There've
Can
been
you...
so many in the middle of it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, I have a question. Yeah, why'd you start? When are you gonna wrap this up? I gotta to die like now.
Either kill me or clap these cheeks.
One of the two.
That's what I say on all my Tinder dates. I'm just kidding.
Because Edward won't make this bed rock.
I've never once been on a Tinder date.
I haven't either, but I do entertain Tinder sometimes.
Can't relate.
I'll just like swipe, and then someone will message me. I'm like, ooh,
Unmatched.
yeah. Block.
I've had one good Tinder date.
Let's hear about it.
Nope.
Okay.
Actually, it's really funny. I'll actually tell you. I won't tell you the rest of it, though. But I was really... It was like when catfish was really big. And so I was really worried about being catfish. Because this guy, he was really cute. He was 28. I was in college still. And he had like a really nice job or whatever. He lived in downtown, whatever. And he asked me out to like a really nice restaurant. And I was like, am I about to get catfished? I don't know why I was super worried, but I
I'm about
was.
to get my cheeks clapped.
And I was telling my friends about it. And they're like, what if we went to the same restaurant and just like sat across the
Wow.
restaurant and just like we're there for you? I'm like, really? That'd be so nice. So they get there. I was running late and it was raining. And I had to park down the street. And so he got the table for us and they got there early. They were sat literally right next to us. And we were at the kind of tables where it's like maybe 2 feet in between them.
Oh
So
my
they
God.
were there for everything. And it was my friend Taylor, Annie, and Olajuwon. And they were texting me, like, Annie texted me in the middle of it, and she's like, hey, will you roll me one of those breadsticks? Like, asking for some of our food. And, oh my gosh, and he had a slight speech impediment. Just like a weird, like,
No, kid.
nothing, not that. But, like, we were talking about it in the group chat, and I could just see it, and I'm like, stop it, stop.
Fuck. I would have had to put that away and I would have been like, abort this mission.
Y'all can
was-
leave now.
Yeah.
Wild.
He's clearly cute. Get the fuck out.
It went well aside from that, but like I had to just like focus.
Did he... You think he suspected
I had
anything?
no idea. No idea.
Your phone was just like blowing up.
And
Well,
besides you
I had
chuckling.
we were on like I was on the side where it was like a booth and he was the table side. It was just like a really long booth.
So you could
So I was
literally
literally
roll
sharing a
people
seat
food.
with them. So I had my stuff down on my side, so I would just look down and I could see like my whole text feed, and I was like, so that's my life.
That's hilarious.
Didn't work out, but it's fine.
Can we get Now Kith put on a poster
And
put it in
Kith.
the middle?
I'm ready to change my Instagram bio to Now Kith. Right now, right now, my Instagram bio is Dog is Love.
Mine
Dog is love.
Yeah, like God is love, but dog is love.
Oh,
Mine is the simulation's glitching. Yeah.
I don't think I have a bio.
Need
It might be my resume. I don't know.
That's funny. Just passively looking for another job.
All right. Do we have anything else for this chapter?
I have a few things.
Okay.
Are we over time?
No. I mean, we're at an hour right now.
Towards the end of this chapter, on 449, Bella says, I couldn't help myself. I tried to run. As useless as I knew it would be, as weak as my knees already were, panic took over and I bolted for the emergency door. And I'm, like, high-key confused why she chooses to run.
Girl, you can.
Is it
You're
just
not
like
escaping.
instinct?
I think so, but it's just like, you have it. You don't have self-preservation instincts now.
Right. You're already there.
Nowhere
itch.
else in the
That's
past
so
448 pages have you ever had one inkling of advocation for yourself. And now you're like, shit, maybe I should run. Like, okay.
When it's too late,
Yeah.
of course. I'm surprised Stephanie Meyer just didn't put in that she tripped in that run, too.
Yeah, really. That's hilarious.
I would have cried.
Well, what's even funnier, she runs in the movie, too, but she sprays him in the face with pepper spray first.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
And runs. It's so funny because it doesn't bother him. He's just like, oh my god, this bitch. Literally, he makes like a grunt noise that conveys that exactly.
And like in the movie, it's funny how he like jumps over her head and it's just like a little blur.
She starts running and she's like going really hard and he just jumps in front of her and he's like,
Why do you think
Stop.
that would work? Yeah, I think in this section, in the book, he hits her really hard in the head and she starts bleeding, and that's when she's on the floor and she's like, this is it, man.
It's so casual.
Because she thinks, let me see if I can find it. Through my nausea, and dizziness, I saw something that gave me a sudden, final shred of hope. His eyes, merely intent before, now burned with an uncontrollable need. The blood, spreading crimson across my white shirt, pooling rapidly on the floor, was driving him mad with thirst. No matter his original intentions, he couldn't draw this out much longer.
I don't like the words need and thirst.
Yeah.
I
Let it be
control
quick
need.
now, was all I could hope, as the flow of blood from my head sucked my consciousness away with it. My eyes were closing. So she's like either about to die, maybe from blood loss or something, or she's like, okay, hopefully he can't control, I smell so good, he can't control his urge, and like, this is it for me.
This is
and
Alice
what's
smells better
really
than her.
funny too is when I first read that and then I saw something that gave me a shred of hope.
I hope, yeah, I thought it would be the Cullens.
Yeah, I thought she would like see Edward storm in. No, she's like, oh, I'm gonna die now. Okay, it's
God.
coming.
Yeah.
Like it's still like die.
Yeah. Which is like relatable.
Well, yeah.
I think she might just be fainting in this though,
Yeah.
because of the blood. Like, because you know, like the whole incident with her at school and the homegirl like
Yeah.
was trembling in her knees.
I think yeah, the smell of it twisted my stomach. That was a really visceral scene for me. But I also am like weird around blood, so
Really?
that might just be me.
That's not very gang of you.
I know. That's why, I don't know if I told you, I think I probably told you about this before, but when we worked together at the old place, I was carrying, like I was taking dishes back to the dish area, and this knife like slipped on the cutting board and like sliced my pinky open. It was not a big deal, and I didn't want to tell you because I was embarrassed that happened.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't want to make a big deal about it, but I was like bleeding through my Band-Aid and I almost passed out because I was so grossed out.
Oh my
Not because
God.
it was like bleeding a lot, but just because I was like,
You should have come get me.
I know, but you know.
Yeah. No, in that place specifically where we used to work, I've had to, like, escort people onto an ambulance because they're just, like, so overcome. Like, well, did I ever tell you? So I used to work in a, like, experimental kitchen, or instructional kitchen. That's what I was trying to say. And we were teaching people how to make a traditional French dish and how to cut a whole chicken.
Yeah.
And so from like a whole dead chicken body, how to cut it up. And when I had 3 girls faint, we had to have the paramedics come and they just lost their shit. No blood.
Not even blood. Just
There
the
wasn't really
idea.
even blood. It was just ripping bones and shit.
I mean, that's fucking horrifying for me, but
Yeah.
it's something about blood.
Yeah.
Did you dissect frogs and stuff?
No, well, I think so, but like, I really couldn't, like, really participate in that in any kind of way, because I was just like, dude.
You know, it's like at COSI, I cut open a cow's eye, and then, which I couldn't do any of the cutting because that was so weird to me. Like I kept like going like this, and then like, and so I had my partner do it, but then we dissected a frog, and she said you could step out, but if you didn't want to do it, that was fine, but that would be like 50% of that grade, so you'd get like a 50% if you didn't do it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
That is
so
fucked up. Like, don't even, yeah, I don't know. I know some people that I went to school with had to do, like, baby pigs. And
Oh, yeah.
Thank God I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I could not have done that.
Yeah. We did, this was kind of, I don't know. maybe I'm fucked up. We did sharks. That was kind of cool. They weren't baby sharks. They were just like a smaller breed. But baby pigs, for some reason, that would like get me. What really bothers me about all the dissection stuff is the fucking smell.
Yeah.
Because it's all the chemicals they pump into these things to preserve them, and then dead animal on top of
Yeah.
it. It's
I'm gonna
so
throw up
gross.
if we keep talking
Okay.
about this. I'm
Sorry.
low-key surprised that I did not throw up at work today.
Why?
I was really about to, but Tim was in the bathroom. Just because of all the shit that I was eating, I was and I couldn't
All the
stop.
candy?
I couldn't stop.
Oh yeah, we were shoveling candy into our mouths
Yeah.
today. I don't even like candy that much.
I don't either.
No!
But it was because it was there and available. I was like, yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
avoided it like all Halloween season until like yesterday.
Yeah.
My teacher was passing it around the classroom, and I was like, "No, please, don't give it to me. Not right now."
Me just knowing I'm eating my pounds away, like, you were doing so good on your calorie counter.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's. I mean, there like isn't that much for me to say about this chapter. I don't know. It like a lot. It's exciting to read it. It was a fast-paced chapter for me at least because it was like finally like this is the action of the book.
Yeah,
really.
she wasn't waiting around. It wasn't just her incessant monologues.
Yeah, and it was like great to have this after 2 chapters of the hotel, but I really feel like the hotel should have been condensed into 1 chapter because 20 and 21 really dragged a little bit. But yeah, it's nice to have this, and like you can sense the end of the book is coming, and I kind of can't believe that we're still.
I know, it's
Doing
crazy.
this.
After reading this chapter, it's kind of crazy. Like, there's only 2 chapters left. Because I feel
Like,
like
how do
they're
we
not
come
going to
back
get
from
wrapped
this?
up.
Yeah, if
In
you
that.
were reading this and you really didn't know it was going to happen, I could see being like, shit, she's really going to die.
Yeah. I could too.
And then like the rest being like her witnessing her funeral or something.
Ooh. Dark. I like it.
She dies. She goes to first, sees Edward avenging her. Him like boohoo sobbing. Even though, does he cry?
I was wondering
I don't
that
know
too.
if they cry. I feel like we've asked this before, but we never really got an answer.
Doesn't no? He does it in Breaking Down Part 1 when she's on the table, and then like she's like he thinks that she's dead.
Does he, or is he just like panicking? I don't
know.
remember tears. I just remember him being like, "Come on!" I don't remember crying. He's just like, "Bella, please, please." It's like he's almost trying to.
Yeah, but he can't. I can't bring myself to cry over this itch.
Yikes.
I'm gonna look it up.
All right. Anything else with this chapter, guys?
Never mind what.
I thought that this whole thing on page 446, James is still talking and explaining like every detail of how he like figured out where she was and like how to do this and
Yeah.
how he got the family video. And like this, I'm pretty sure we covered this once already. Like he says, when Victoria couldn't get to your father, I had her find out more about you. There was no sense in running all over the planet chasing you down when I could comfortably wait for you in the place of my choosing. So after I talked to Victoria, I decided to come to Phoenix to pay your mother a visit. I'd heard you say you were going home. At first, I never dreamed you meant it. And then I wondered, humans can be very predictable. They like to be somewhat familiar, somewhere safe. And wouldn't it be the perfect ploy to go to the last place you should be hiding? The place that you said you'd be. Like, we already went through that whole reasoning, like, one time. Like, why did you have to do that a second time? I don't get it.
Right? Like, that's not where we want the description. Nor
Right.
need one.
Yes, exactly. It's like, yeah, random description, it seems like, and never where I want it in this series.
Yeah. Our last note where we should have got description is Alice's backstory, and I said she should have got her own book, but
True.
I'm here to write it.
Dude,
I'm here
do
for the
it.
masses.
Buy the rights from Stephanie Meyer. Become an author.
Ooh. You do that
Calling it
instead.
now.
I
Maya's
can write a
gonna
sick
be a
poem
spin-off.
about it. That's all I'm trained to do.
Do it.
Analyze books at this depth and write poems.
Money well spent.
Yep.
Alice.
But really, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast though, but I like look at this and tell me how good my grades would be if I analyzed anything I read for class. Like,
I was legitimately about to say, you have to take a picture and like post it on our
I
story.
was thinking
It
that.
looks so crazy. Guys, the amount of notes that Maya has taken and put into the book itself is just filled with Post-its. I love it. It's so colorful.
when we finish the book, I'll post the picture on
Okay.
Instagram. That can be our like announcement.
Yeah. It's so great.
Yes,
I love
we
it.
done.
It's like to the point where my book like doesn't really close all the way because there are so many post-it notes.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, that's all I have.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Well, thank you for listening, guys. Again, we're sorry for the late episode, but we hope doing 2 chapters kind of makes up for it. Thank you all who listen. We love you. Follow us on our social media at My Twilight Fantasy Podcast, or My Twilight Fantasy on Instagram, at Twilight Podcast on Twitter. Email us your thoughts, concerns, questions, hate, whatever, at our email at mytwilightfantasypodcast@gmail.com.
Has anyone ever emailed us?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, most of our activity is done through Instagram. So
Just hit us up there.
that's always checked every day. But also, check out the link in our Instagram bio that goes to our website where you can access our merch page. And we got some sweatshirts for the cold winter. I'm
Very
going to order
cozy.
one here soon, yeah. I say that, I think, every week. But I really am because I'm out of sweatshirts. And it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
And it also has links to our Patreon account, which we now have our first couple Patreoners, and we are working on bonus content for them. So,
Dad.
you know who you are. Look out.
Mother.
I want to look for like unironic Twilight merch from like a few years ago and buy it like from eBay.
Do it.
I'll keep an eye out for that. Send me DM us links if you find anything.
Yeah, we'd like to buy it. So, with that,
Peace.
Love.
in Twilight.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.